The strive to bring us a game that even comes close to the prime days of the Silent Hill series has been something a lot of game developers have been trying to accomplish. Since the cancellation of Silent Hills, even after the success of the PT demo, developers have been trying to emulate that excitement and psychological horror void that the cancellation created. One company that has tried their hands on this has been Bloober Team. Starting out as a small team, they finally cemented their mark with the release of Layers of Fear. And with the positive reception of Layers of Fear, the team was able to spawn a sequel as well as deliver a game based on the Blair Witch. And again, they were received well by players and critics. This brings us to The Medium, the latest entry from Bloober Team. Originally releasing as a timed exclusive on Windows and Xbox, the game is now releasing on PS5 to take advantage of the next-gen capabilities of the console. But is ray tracing, haptic feedback, and adaptive triggers worth the $50 price tag? Well, let's talk about that. When The Medium was announced, I was really excited for it. It was a game that drew heavy inspiration from Silent Hill, and seeing how the gameplay was, I got even more excited. You see, the gameplay draws heavily on exploration and environmental puzzles, and due to the powers of the character Marianne, you have to explore both the living and the spirit world at the same time. This is the first game I've ever played with this kind of mechanic, and it was fantastic. But let's put the gameplay on hold for just 1 minute so I can give a quick intro to the story. The game is set in Poland in 1999, and you play as Marianne, who is you guessed it, a medium. So Marianne, being able to see and interact with the dead, begins having nightmares of a man shooting a girl by a lake. During this time, we also find out Marianne is grieving over the loss of her foster father. And while at her father's place of residence, she receives a call from a man named Thomas who knows of her abilities. Thomas informs her to come to the Niwa resort if she wants to speak further. The Niwa was a vacation resort where a massacre occurred years prior. The Niwa also serves as our main location for the game. So now, getting back to gameplay though, the game relies heavily on using the variabilities that Marianne possesses. Using the ability of psychometry, she can touch certain items to see the past attached to those items. Marianne can use the ability of projecting herself to the spirit realm to be able to unlock areas for her physical form to be able to travel and progress. With heavy emphasis on exploration and puzzle solving, there leaves little to no room for combat. The only form of combat is by use of a shield to block spirit moths, and that's pretty much it. This might not appeal to some players who like having combat in these games. I'm one of those, so I thought I should mention that. The length of the game is important to mention here as well. While typical Silent Hill or Resident Evil games span a game time of about 9 to 12 hours on a first playthrough, the Medium is anywhere between 6 to 10 hours. 6 if you just rush for the story, and 10 if you explore for all achievements. This also brings us to replayability. Most games have sort of replayability either through harder difficulties, unlockables, or multiple endings. These are good ways to bring players back to the game and keep them invested in the world. Sadly, the Medium has none of these. There's no multiple endings, no unlockables, and due to the nature of the game, there's no extra difficulties. This is extremely disappointing considering how innovative the gameplay actually is. The music, on the other hand, is absolutely fantastic. They went ahead and brought aboard the composer for Silent Hill to compose the music for this game. So I have to give them props on that. But getting back to the question at hand, is the Medium worth buying at a $50 price point? No. While the story is really well written and the visuals are stunning with gameplay that leaves me excited if Bloober Team manages to actually get their hands on Silent Hill, I cannot recommend this game for $50. The lack of diverse gameplay combined with zero replay value and a short story, I cannot in good conscience recommend to buy this at that price point. Luckily though, if you have a capable enough PC, you don't have to. The game is included in Xbox Game Pass and can be played on PC that way. So getting a month of Game Pass to play the game would be the way to go, because once you finish the game, you can play other things. And that's pretty much it. I should mention that I actually do like the medium, as it's a game I can relate to for personal reasons. But thank you for watching, and if you found this helpful, leave a thumbs up, and until the next one, happy gaming.